All right. Welcome, welcome, as we enjoy our time together today, as our brave heroes have uh, found out on their way back about a burgeoning civilization called the Tusculi that walked around and existed with a hive mind. As they investigated this new development of uh, humanoid, they determined that their method of propagation was to take other humanoids and paralyze them, inserting their eggs in their bodies and allowing the eggs to grow and devour others from the inside, thereby producing drones or warriors or elites to then begin expanding their hive. As this went on, the hive would grow. Um, Through some research, they realized that they were all, the civilization usually was kept to a different area of the continent, and its appearance here and its invasiveness to the native place seemed odd. And after much discussion, they realized that the best course of action, the one they wanted to take, was an extermination. Rallying the people together, Nebulheim set out and dismantled the hive, and ultimately our strike team of our leaders of Nebulheim made their way and somewhat barely were able to kill the queen herself amongst her guard, thus sending the hive into chaos, or the rest of the warriors of Nebulheim were able to sweep in, burn, and destroy the rest of this place. They even were able to kill one of the creatures that seemed to try to take a very specific bottle of a substance out, and they retained that so that it couldn't go elsewhere. And with that, we will join our fun today. So, we are here in the after. As always is the case, if unfortunately you weren't there for the things that occurred, you were green and in the background. This is always the case in GMBLO stuff. And burning through, and now you can see the hive in ruins, no survivors left, and the area saved. The threat to Nebulheim and the surrounding tribes taken care of. You rest in the main structure of the hive that once housed the queen. Bloodied and exhausted. What would you like to do? There we go, sorry.
Ugh, that was gross. I'm glad that's over.
I'll go up to the place where the queen was at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so her body lies there.
Go ahead and check this queen body out.
All right. You do see she's armed with 4 scimitars, looking chipped and mundane. Nothing of necessarily value. The place here is mostly of biological. There's a type of sustenance and resin that the whole place is made of, but that's about it.
I know that they had taken captives and used them to hatch people. Is there any remains or corpses?
From what I remember, Peter, Garrus, when we came in here, there was a group that was almost in a circle that had these attachments or in their body that that Azariah was definitely interested in and appalled that when we first walked in. So
Garrus is interested in in loot as well. So Garrus is starting to search the area very thoroughly. The threat's over, so now let's see if there's anything valuable left.
Absolutely. So the general looting commences, as is. Let's see here. There are a fair amount of ones that have essentially are corpses. The people are long since dead. Some are here are relatively newly put in with the eggs. You can see they're in a very much of pain and paralyzed from the experience. So they have living creatures that are maturing inside of them. Fortunately for all of you, the creatures that you have don't seem to have taken much off of them necessarily, the living ones. So the ones that seem to be alive, you could go ahead and loot them as they are paralyzed, but aware of their surroundings, it's up to you. As far as the dead ones, you're able to search around in this place, and you can find what seems to be a type of trove that has been gathered. Essentially, there's 2,000 gold and 593 silver that is contained within this place. Much else, like as far as you can see that pieces of what looks like expensive art or whatever have kind of been dismantled or destroyed, robbing them of value and like used in more of the construction of the place. And the way that the gold and such is stacked, you can see that they seem to have stacked in a way that said they knew what it was, they knew it was currency, and were using it for trade potentially. As you realize they have weapons and other things here that they got somehow.
They have weapons.
Yeah, scimitars, bows, and arrows, and these types of things.
Anything that looks of particularly high quality?
Absolutely. Give me an investigation check, please.
I mean, if you want to take a little bit of time, I can do the ritual for detecting magical things.
So might as well start that while I'm looking.
Alright, I'll go ahead and start that.
and I'll roll investigation anyways, because Garrus is totally looking anyways.
Perfect.
19.
Very nice.
Also, real quick, was there any, looking at the people that weren't dead yet, is there any way, the ones that were still alive, is there any way to save them, or are they too far gone? Because you said there was stuff essentially growing in them already.
You can definitely begin to determine that. That would be like a medicine check.
Alright. I'm gonna do that then. So, if you want to finish with the Garrus thing first, sorry.
Absolutely. So there's going to be some things you can detect through detect magic, but Garrus, you kind of dig around and kind of buried and tossed aside. You're able to find a very kind of unique type of item. It has the appearance of essentially an ear cuff that looks like a person climbing. And when put correctly and fitted to the ear, it would be as if they were climbing the person's ear.
This is interesting. Look at this. I'm gonna put it on my ear.
Alright. Very good. As soon as you put it on, you feel your muscles tighten slightly. And with big vigor and a little more expertise. So this is the ear cuff of the climber that you can find in D&D Beyond.
Okay.
And then give me the medicine check there, Layla.
It was part of my interest as well in figuring out. Could I have helped Layla either looked it over or giving them advice?
Absolutely. You both can make it, or you can give them advantage. What would you
I'll
like
give
to
you
do?
advantage there.
Alright. First roll was better. 21.
You got it. So with a 21, you peering over them. There are about 15 here that are in this various cases. You think it might be possible, should they be taken back and given good care, to remove these and using healing magic, and of course a quick sword to kill the lava inside, to make them, if you would set this up and take the time.
Yeah, I guess we'll. So I got 2 third level spell slots, so I can do mass healing word twice.
Sounds good. Yeah, it would just take some. You have to kind of take them back to Nebulheim.
Okay.
It'll just be some time, like just to do it. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, 'cause you have to operate almost simultaneously and immediately heal them before, so they wouldn't bleed out and that type of things.
Okay. So yeah, I'll start preparations to, get them transported. I'll send for additional villagers to help carry those that are stuck.
And I'd let everybody know that I found at least one item that's magic. There's probably more there if we want to use a spell and detect it. It's probably worth doing.
Well, after I get everyone the victim situation sorted out, I'll ritual cast detect magic.
Perfect. Looking through here, this leads you again. Things are piled, and the detect magic reveals a axe partially encased in some of the resin here. Looking at it, it is a beautiful carving, and it glows with elemental magic.
Did you say it's in the amber?
Yep. So you can take the time to get it out. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it is something that would have been overlooked.
Nala, did you see this axe Layla found?
Yeah, as I get it out, I'll actually call over Azariah and Nala.
What kind of axe is it?
It's a great axe.
Okay, I want to take hold of it, take a look at it.
All right. Look at it. Seems to have a figure of a giant carved within it, and double bladed. And I went ahead and gave that over in private chat.
Giant craft ambusher.
Yes.
Some of y'all probably can't even use this. But yeah,
Nope.
so it's like a +1. Is that what I'm getting?
It's a +1, but it does a bunch extra damage.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's more than just.
I
yeah, it has a few things.
okay. Yeah,
Got
I'll
reach.
tune to that as soon as I get a moment.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of put it in my I'll say thanks and put it right on my little satchel there and strap it to my back.
Badass.
Now, the queen, did you say that she was in some type of throne room? Did I hear that right? Like a structure?
She's in a structure. I never said throne room. She's in a what essentially looks like a place where she breathes. This
The
is
high
like,
part.
It's the high part. So this is
so that's what we're looking at.
yeah. Like this is her home, but her main function is to put babies into bodies and have them eat their way out. So that's kind of what this room is made to do and where she is, as she gives orders. So it's not like she's a gathering of wealth necessarily. It seems like the impression here is like everything they find they just use to make the hive a little stronger, except for gold and stuff, which maybe they buy equipment with to better use and do some type of trade and such things.
Gotcha.
So that is the feel of this.
Azariah has been approaching this. It's almost since the beginning, through the ends of, like also how hive insects, colonies work. And he knows that sometimes when the queen can't do their job, that a new queen has to be created basically in a way by how they feed and the nutrition. I just want to know if there's any place I see where maybe a royal jelly or something is being created that create a new queen.
On that thing, you examine that bottle that they tried to run away with. And that you, after examining it, you were able to determine that's what this does. It changes one of the drones into a queen.
Okay.
Matt, if a weapon has the reach property, is that added on to all the reach features I already have?
It certainly depends on how everything is worded.
Okay.
So if it has reach and it extends your reach by 5, it certainly does.
Okay.
If it says your reach becomes this, then it wouldn't, right? Because it would. It just depends on.
It just says it has the reach feature. I didn't know what that meant. I've never seen a weapon.
So it means your reach is 10 feet.
Okay.
So the reach feature is a weapon has a 10-foot reach. And so it depends on the wording of your abilities is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not the weapon. So if it says your reach is now 10 feet in your abilities, no, it's not going to prove anything. But if it says add 5 feet to your reach, then yes. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah. This is going to be great.
30-foot reach Nala.
Who needs a ranged weapon when you have
Exactly.
Nala?
Very cool. So we're able to get that. And I would say, Azariah, looking at this could definitely be used to make something interesting, depending on how you would. It's powerful
For sure.
substance. That's what you're kind of looking for.
Nice. Yeah, I'll use it or keep it on hand. What should I say?
Very good. In that case, is there anything else?
Have we already looked at was that what you were looking at? Was the honey and the stuff like that they were making?
Not the amber itself, just the jar they were trying to get away with.
Because I'm curious about this substance. If we could use it for something like maybe arrows or stuff to paralyze enemies.
Okay.
Kind of invest. Would that be a
Survival check.
survival check? Okay. All right. I think I'm going to use this inspiration I've had for a month, if I can. I don't know if they disappear after a session or not.
Just go ahead. Technically, I mean, I'm going to give it to you because of stuff.
Okay.
So technically, they disappear for long rest, but it's all good.
All right. see here. Not a great roll. Oh wait, I have luck. No, I have lucky. I want to re-roll that with my lucky feat here. 11. Not great.
So 11 is your total?
Yeah, that's my total. I rolled a
Okay.
2, a 3, and something else.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think looking at it here, you're not nothing. As far as getting it, you're not able to quite determine what
Okay.
quite to take care of this.
Yeah, too sappy.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it, unless we think we can make use of their bodies some other how, like their stingers or the other things that they try to kill us with repeatedly.
Since it's a little bit of a different check, you're not looking at their innards, you're looking more at their bodies. I will allow another survival.
Survival.
Definitely not me.
I will take this. It's not the best, but we're gonna do it. Where's the pretty one at? 17.
Okay. Specifically, what's left over by the creatures here, you think you could make something that would do quite well for a druid or a ranger, should you dissect them and begin to process the remainders as armor.
Oh, cool. That could be useful for someone in the future. So it's like carapace materials for armor.
Indeed. And because I'd rather have in all of your notes rather than mine, so that we can remember quickly. So the materials to make the following, I'm going to put in the chat, which is a pollinator carapace, pollinator pants, and pollinator visor.
Nice.
Outfit.
The pollinator pants.
Oh no. That is.
I'm assuming those are just assless caps, right?
I've had that before. It's awesome.
They are a set of items that you could make, and if all three are worn, they do set bonus.
Nice.
But they are tunable only by a druid or a ranger.
Cool.
And you look ridiculous wearing it. Just terrible.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like a B-man, you know, like
Yeah.
superhero, like
That's exactly.
Bum,
correct.
bum,
Oh,
bum.
yes.
like some kid gets stung by a bee, gets bee superpowers, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make an
Yep.
outfit."
Yep, that's exactly it.
But it gives you some pretty sweet stuff, though.
Oh yeah, it does. It's cool.
Oh. Very close. Like, I think what's the one? If you have it all, it can actually charm creatures if they attack you. Upon them hitting you, they have to make a wisdom save.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, it's got one that basically, if you're wearing it, if they try to attack you or cast a spell, they have to make a wisdom save, and if they fail, they have to make a new target or lose the attack.
it's basically like permanent sanctuary.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really depending.
Very nice.
Very cool. All right, so you're able to detect that. Now, some of this you could just generally use as some materials. You could begin if you want sending, or generally speaking, from this you are going to have some resin and things here that you are going to be able to reshape for your. They will count as materials for Nebulheim to make things out of. not necessarily magical by nature, but like construction material. And
Cool.
already that seems to be underway. The people that you've led thus far just have an absolute mindset of taking whatever they can and using it to progress.
I'm gonna get along
at least.
just fine in this town.
That's scavenge. Like you didn't even have to give that order. They're just like, take what you can, and let's make sure that the village prospers.
So now I want to know, because I know we I don't know if it was said, but I know that we wagered 5 of our warriors that came with us. Did all of them survive in this last battle?
In this last one, I did roll. Yep, they all passed.
Hey. So yeah, at this point, I'll probably be helping Layla, gather up some of the people so we can take them back and take care of them. Layla, you fought well and did a good job in keeping us alive.
Thank you. I'm very tired though. This has been a. It's not even lunchtime and I'm already ready for bed.
I understand that. Well, I think without your meal in the morning, we would all be sleeping bags for these little creatures.
Yeah, probably. That was.
That was a good meal. I think it was worth the how much was that bowl?
It was not cheap.
Well, if we go back to town, we can buy another one.
Oh no, I still have it. It's not used up.
Oh, it's not used up?
No. No, I get it is very high initial cost. Once I have it, I can do the spell multiple times.
Oh, that's helpful. I know diddly squat about magic. I know that sometimes it just poof, the stuff's gone.
Yeah, some spells.
This was Hero's Feast.
Yeah.
I think Hero's Feast.
The bowl consumes the spell consumes the bowl.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought it didn't.
No, it uses the bowl.
Yeah,
Unless they changed
Oh, it's
it.
the.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
A gem encrusted bowl with 1,000 plus GP, which the spell.
Oh, which the
consumes.
spell consumes. Okay. Well,
That's fine.
if
I
we
double
need to
checked
do-
as you were saying it.
yeah, I was like, I could have sworn that I
thought
remember it
did.
being a.
Wanted to check.
Yeah, I didn't think it did.
That's all right.
As wrong.
We can order another one.
And back to it, it was very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you,
it's
Layla.
it did its job very well. But it so perhaps we can you know what we should do? We should find an artisan in our village, so we have one of these ready to go.
We could do that. We've got the funds.
So, have we decided already where we're going next?
Back to the village.
Oh, okay.
After that, no.
Yeah, we've barely spent time in the village since we got in the surrounding area. We pretty much went to the village, was like, hey, we got to handle this problem, and left.
Okay.
So we haven't
So-
spent any more than a full 24 hours there.
We'd probably spend a few hours here in the hive, looting it and making ready all the stuff for transport, and then head back to the village because we have kids to check on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So
I mean,
Uh,
Helga's, I think, is probably taking care of the kids.
Yeah, but it's a reason to go back to town. I mean,
Wait, not Helga.
Nala probably wants to check in on the kids too. We left rather abruptly. We need to make sure that they get settled. We need to
I do
make
wanna
sure
check
that
in
Hegel.
on them.
Hegel, not Helga.
Hegel.
Yeah,
No,
Hegel.
I think that's both wrong.
I'm looking at
My
it
notes. Hold on.
I'm looking at it in the Discord chat here.
Hegel's. Yep, Hegel.
Mine
Hegel.
says Hergra.
Okay. Very cool. We'll go with Hegel. 'Cause that's what we've
Okay.
did in there.
I will change my notes.
You
Wait,
got it.
Hold on. Eagle?
Yeah.
Like Smeagol?
Yep. It's really Hegel, but it's all good.
Hegel.
But yeah, and with you
Hegel?
is
No.
Katrine Felsmar, the blood cleric.
So have we learned anything? Well, actually, Zarya, your father, right? Ezekiel, is that correct?
Yes. Oh my God.
Well, now that Hegel is here, I mean, she's family for you, right?
I mean, she has relations to my father, and she supposedly has one of my siblings in her, so in a way, I guess so.
So, I was thinking that, well, since she's family, that maybe you would want to have a bit of a family celebration or throw her a baby shower.
Well, it sounds nice and all, but we were only able to. I was only able to figure out that she was pregnant by some others telling me. She hasn't really told us on her own accord. I wouldn't want to make her uncomfortable at all. I feel like she would share that information with me if she wanted and felt comfortable and trusting me to do so.
Anyone who shares a mastodon is probably good company.
She is definitely a kind woman.
Oh, and I need to check on Sprout too.
Yeah, we haven't even been able to do that.
All right. Yeah, making your way back. You come in much glory here to Nebulheim, having lost only a few people, and ultimately here, yeah, your total casualties came to 15 from here, but there were hundreds, if not in the thousands, that you killed in the forest now. It is also safe to plunder for supplies for the time being, most of other predators having long since chased away due to the Tusculi in the area. And coming on in, so think, because I don't think Nala was here. So the entire village at this point, definitely, everyone has a little bit of a tired look. They're a lot more battle hardened, it seems, from their guard duty from the thin places that are nearby. And also it's the signs of a village that has progressed. They have built new buildings, made new things in the months you have been away. So, all of that. What little projects would you guys like to check in on?
I guess as soon as we get back, I'm gonna start working on rescuing the people out of the amber.
Oh, very good. Okay. With that, I'll do another medicine check.
Alrighty then. 13. Not great.
Okay. So with a 13, then you do your best. Some have progressed further than you thought when you initially did that, and so with some squirming at the last minute, biting into the subject's hearts, killing them on the table, you are able to bring about 5 into perfect health. And they are currently in a state of recovery and rest.
I'm gonna check in on make sure Sprout is coming along, as well as the children. Make sure. And the other thing I thought about is like whether or not there are people in our village who are interested in taking on some children to help teach different things about the clan, like maybe whatever their interests are, they can start learning some crafts and things to contribute.
So you're checking if there's children. So the ones that would be most interested in that were like the 15s that you led down here.
Yeah,
that
those are
you've
the
kind
ones I
of
meant.
worked through. Plus, there was
Okay.
the orphanage that you took. Those are ones you took also from the Sionis.
That's right. Yep. Okay.
And all that. So your project there would be trying to teach them such things.
Well, and helping them connect with people in the village who are experts in those particular areas. Like if one of the children is interested in, I mean, I could teach them music, but like if they were interested in hunting or in skinning or leather work or that kind of thing, maybe just connecting them to different people in the village to kind of take on an apprenticeship.
Okay, sounds good. Just serving as that, seeing what their things are, especially with all the raw supplies you got back. It's a good time to help them in the excitement of the victory. So that makes perfect sense.
And as a group, did we want to do like because I know when we first started the campaign, we had like that major celebration over the victory of the hunt. But with a big victory like this, do we want to kind of organize a victory celebration as a morale booster?
I'm always down for a party. It would
I
be a
think-
great opportunity for me to meet some people in the village as well.
Yes, I think it would be a dual purpose victory celebration and also welcoming of the children and Hidal.
And Garrus, actually.
Yeah.
And yes, yes.
Very good. So you can definitely begin those preparations. So that can be in the works in the background here.
Mhm.
Very cool. Any other things? All right. Specifically, ask. I know Niall has a few other things. I want to make sure if anybody else has a thing. If I say go ahead, I know it's when
No.
it's when Sprout is.
I guess basically I want to do the help with the victims and then find whoever's in charge of defending the thinning and ask
Okay.
for a progress or a report on that situation.
Okay, very good. Makes total sense. So we can go to that actually. So, as um, as you're requesting a report of that, they two come to you. Um, Definitely more battle hardened. It's presenting as male and female as they sit down to the table with you. I would assume in the Grand Lodge, and here, Layla, as these are the leaders of the day and the night watch. And as a note, they switch essentially every 2 weeks, who's day and who's night, moving through it so that they can each enjoy the benefits or sacrifices that those tend to make. Um, the Currently, the commander of the day watch, she'll speak. She says, "That's great that you all have returned. You wanted an update, yes?"
Yes, please.
Did. Uh, it has been interesting, to say the least. Much of our warriors have been able to hone their skills, uh, as was evidenced by our raid on the Tusculi. We've
Yes,
learned,
we had several that performed admirably.
mm, indeed, stranger and stranger creatures come through, and we have learned to uh, examine their biology, the way their limbs are attached or sometimes floating around their bodies, to predict what they might be able to do and to strike quickly. Um, we have established a protocol that we were hoping to get some input on. It seemed what we thought was the most in line with what you all taught us. We do shout out a warning and to immediately go prone and grovel, to identify, to talk. Those that do not are killed.
Hmm.
Um, I would say majority of the time, this warning, once given, is met with hmm, some type of projectile, spit, energy ray, all types of things. We take most of our casualties in the warning. But it seems uh, felt that was worth it based on everything that we went through.
I say perhaps let's be a bit more diligent during the warning part. But I do appreciate it.
It's hard. Some scream and heads explode. Others, one exploded at the warning, and then skins began burning, as then the pieces of the skin that were burning fell off and reconstituted the creature. When you say diligent, what do you recommend?
I perhaps have a find cover to make the warning from. I guess I don't.
So we are voices that they cannot see us. We do not present ourselves or identify.
I I, I just do not want our people dying unnecessarily. Does that make sense? It's.
It does. We have the same conundrum. As if is this a recommendation from you? Is our question.
I guess I am not exactly eager to go near it. I fear my presence near it just thins the thinning even more. So I cannot. Perhaps we should get opinions from other members? Azariah, Nala, perhaps even the Nilfolk, Garrus?
Of course, I was. I want to move the report then. Yes. Let's see. Most prominent have been, uh, I guess, spider-like creatures, though only six-legged. It's almost like a large spider with a head of and neck of a eel. There's been many of these.
He just keeps getting more creative. This.
Yes, those are the ones. Well, we no longer give warnings to those creatures. They that ended with three of our warriors falling and having their brains extracted and consumed by the creatures. That then seemed to gain power because of it.
I do not. Every day, it's just worse. This might seem like an odd question. How has everybody been sleeping in the village? Do you know?
From what I know, as good as any other time.
All right. Is that all you have to report then?
Let's see. The only other interesting thing that we actually have recently killed, and at two words of a feast we will be eating, is a flying boar.
Did it come through the thinning?
Yes. It had great feathery wings. In armor. It seemed to be a mount. Maybe you escaped through for some creature.
Hmm. All right. Well, Beck, I guess I will see one or both of you at the feast tonight. Thank you very much for your diligence and bravery.
Of course. Is there something we should be looking for?
Not in particular. Just remain vigilant. He is simultaneously subtle and not so subtle with his attacks, so to speak.
Can you tell us more of this enemy you fear?
That's unfortunately I do not know. I just know that I am scared of him. And he is, again, as best I can describe, a nightmare. Your nightmare. My nightmare, his nightmare, everybody's nightmare. It's I wish I had more information.
Of course.
It is a almost primal, I guess, fear I have. Where not even sure if it's a fear, it is a wariness of him. It's have you ever felt the hairs on the back of your neck just stand up for no seeming reason?
I kind of nod.
He is, as best I can tell, the reason why, but I don't know why he is the reason why. It is confusing to me, and I am sorry if it is confusing to you.
This... it is fine. They just sort of nod, and both of them go, and then they were return to their duties. All right. Anything else anybody wanted to check on?
Garrus is looking for a place to socialize and also looking for places to shop around town. He's just trying to get acclimated with the village, and he's got a pocket full of gold now and is feeling confident and cocky after killing a queen, and is just I don't know, he's probably I don't know what's Azariah doing.
So, I mean, being back home, I would probably, I hadn't set anything for the library and Remy, the person that works there, to research. But being back, and I've acquired a lot of, pieces and material and things that I think would be used in a spectacular magical staff. And I think that there's, of course, things that I could also gather to make it more grandiose, but I don't have someone who could make or embolden these different material to make this wonderful staff. So what I want them to research and as a topic is looking to places on the continent that have a deep history of magic item making, even though it's not, because it's not very, like not a lot of people do it, right? So I want to know
Right.
which tribes or areas have a history of that, so that maybe we can go there in the future, recruit someone to come to help us and things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So that
If
takes
you've been discussing
7
this-
days.
Yeah, if you've been talking about this with Garrus, he's very interested too. We've been talking about the star metal to the south,
Mhm.
and I'd be looking for someone that could forge that once we find it. I know that's a source, but like Garrus is on the lookout for he'd really like a magical weapon of some sort. So that's what he's keeping an eye out for. It did well, but it's just a standard rapier that he's got. So he's kind of looking out for that and trying to get used to the town.
Very cool. Absolutely. So I'd say for the purposes of this, as far as looking out, this research will go on. It will be a place where you can kind of go. Nebulheim, though it has all these ingredients and you have some stuff to begin the process. That being said, what you do have access to, and I think that's probably a good time for us to take a little bit of game time because we haven't taken it out of character, is to officially try to look at those bastions and see what you want to do, because there's bastions that can provide some of this.
Yes, there is.
So if you want to officially make your bastion here, or some of you want to do that, that will begin to give you a little bit of this access while you might be looking for more powerful things.
If we're going to actually create a bastion, where are we going to keep record of this? Do we have somewhere in Discord that we can set up to track what our bastion rooms are?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't think it's really in there now. I think we kind of have like bastion managers per se. Like, so one of my bastions, or my only bastion, is the library, right? So I kind of manage that whole and oversee that, and obviously everyone has access to it, but I kind of, so it doesn't spill over until anyone else's responsibility is right. We kind of like have one until we have more than 4, then it goes to someone else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I
each
mean,
person can make a bastion as they would see it, basically.
right. So the only bastions we have now is the library, and and correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the garden or the greenhouse?
You mean the only bastion rooms that you have, the only special facilities you have?
Right, those are the only special facilities. Correct.
Okay. That would make sense. If if we're talking out of character, we're at
Yeah.
level 11, so we would each have 2 facilities basically.
Correct.
So all right. I need to pull up the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, this is how often we go back to the village and do things.
Yeah, special facilities.
Keep in mind, while you're away, you can give the actions,
Right.
and you can, if you have a way of contacting them.
If we have a way of communicating with our major domos.
Yes.
I actually really like the way that they've got the bastion set up in this, and I think it's a decent system.
Yeah, and it'll let you take care of a lot of the things you're talking about, right? It's a good
Mhm.
system to make that work. This is what I like about it.
So we've got to have a smithy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to. We could have a stable as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so originally we had our party at the time. We had armory, stable, workshop, greenhouse, and library.
There you go.
Okay, I did just make the Bastions channel so that some of this can be better organized, and I'm putting the link to the Bastions.
Thanks, Ryan, because I probably had 2. I had literally 2 of those things. I do
So
remember.
I had a post in handouts.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
I
they would copy
will-
and paste on over. That was just easier.
yeah, so there's a copy and paste of my post in the other one.
Yep.
Um,
I'm
along
pinning it.
with
Cool.
so those were so we had 5 decided, and I
Right.
think basically I think what we were doing was we kind of just assumed like we had a garden, it got upgraded to a greenhouse, kind of thing, or
Yeah.
we were just at a high enough level that we just picked the greenhouse.
Yeah, and so currently the ones owned by Torhilda, Brynja, and Boamunder either need to be taken over or they're going to go. Ultimately, it's like it exists, but it's not going to be something that you get benefit of, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So right now we essentially just have the library and the greenhouse because Nala couldn't decide on which one she wanted.
okay. That means that we would get to pick another one as well. I'll take over the stable because Garrus has training with land vehicles, which he would be interested in the stables. But I'd really like a smithy.
Cool. And Ryan, we take care of editing that for me. Since you
Yeah.
posted it.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're setting up success and we all would like magical materials, I think the next thing, obviously, then is to have an arcane study. Because once you are at level 9+, then you can commission, common or uncommon magic items. So,
Well, and that's you can do that with the smithy too. You can get an
Oh, okay.
armament. You can, if you're level 9+, you can commission the facilities to craft a common or an uncommon magic item
Mhm.
from the armaments table.
Wait, so did you say the stable or the armory that you're taking over?
I would take over the stable, and I'd like the armory too because at our
Okay.
level we get 2 facilities.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just give you the armory and the stable. We got nobody with the workshop. Oop.
oh, okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and this is also the there's a master one. The one I linked is the official things we're using, not any PDF or whatever
Right.
from the past.
And the main thing about the difference between like obviously the smithy is the smithy can do armaments, right? So it's going
Yep.
to be anything in that regard, while the arcane study will be just like any like
It can do from the
arcana table.
From the Arcana table. There's slightly different things on the tables.
For sure.
Yep. But that's a good one. The other one is if someone wanted one, is a workshop.
Well, we had one started. It's currently unclaimed.
Right, so
Okay.
we just have to claim it.
Yeah.
If someone wants to claim the workshop, that can make implements.
So.
And that's between the three. That's the if we get one that does relics, that's all the tables basically. You can craft just about anything.
So as you have the library, and what do you want your second one to be? Did you already say, or unsure at the moment?
For me,
Yeah, you said the arcane study you wanted to do.
yeah, you know,
Ezra has the library right now as well.
right. I have the library right now, and just thinking about, like, I guess I could take over the workshop because the workshop has more of the like the the things like the wands and the staffs and stuff that he's interested in. So, or sorry, that's actually an ornament. I'm totally looking at the wrong thing.
Do you want to do the smithy? I don't mind grabbing the workshop.
Okay. Well, I think yeah, because you wanted the armory and the stables.
That's Garrus has got the armory and the stables. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Nalo?
Well, I still need to be level 13 before I get the one I really want.
Well, yeah. So you got time.
But keep in mind, when you get 13, you get like 3 other facilities.
Right. So you gotta.
So you can take your 2.
Then I'm gonna take let me see, what would knowledge take? I am not an optimizer, guys, just so you know.
Still fun.
Just do what you want.
I am taking a gaming hall.
Okay.
I am bringing gambling to our village.
I love it.
What else?
Oh, another one.
Me too.
Do we have a storehouse?
I do not think so.
Perfect. I'll take that.
All right.
Money. money. Until I'm level 13. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me think. Now, the training area, what does that do? Hold on. Let me click on it.
There you go.
Appreciate
that.
Training area. Ooh, a music or dance hall. Might contain inanimate targets. Choose the trainer. Blah blah blah. What? You gain proficiency. Oh.
It allows you to basically get a benefit from an expert trainer. You can
I love it.
Get a skill.
Okay.
You can get a tool expert. You can get a weapon expert. There's. Or battle expert. That's actually pretty cool. When you take a damage from an attack from an unarmed striker or weapon, you can reduce it by 1d4. Take a reaction to reduce it by 1d4. Battle expert.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting.
What do I not have here? Ooh, acrobatics. I could take that and just take acrobatics just to have an extra skill. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a tool. Unarmed, when you hit. Attack, deal an extra. No, I don't care about that. choose a weapon. If you aren't proficient with the weapon, you gain proficiency. I'm already proficient. Yeah, I guess I could take. It just doesn't. There's not a lot to it now that I'm looking at it, but so it would not. I was trying to think what would benefit like an army, and I don't think this does that. I think this is just. But what does a theater do? Hold on.
I can tell you guys that I think for me and just looking over both of the tables, I think I'm going to choose Arcane Study.
As opposed to workshop.
Oh no, Workshop is taken by Layla.
I'm thinking possibly theater because that goes in line with Nala instead of the training area. So if I took theater and then I took wait, does this have a prereq? No. Okay, good. And then I took
So, Jalen, you got the library and then Arcane Study?
Yes.
Okay.
trophy room. What's that?
Garrus has Army and Stable. I got Greenhouse and Workshop. And as of right now, Nala has Gaming Hall and Storehouse.
I didn't have armory. I had smithy.
Smithy instead of the Armory. Okay, we had the Armory previously. We're going to switch it over to the Smithy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking theater instead.
Instead of
Is
which
it
one?
Gaming Hall or the Storehouse?
Get rid of the gaming hall, I guess.
So not gaming hall, but
Not
theater.
gaming hall, but I am still looking at something else instead of storehouse. What?
I'm not an optimizer. Hold on, I gotta read some shit.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking, what would Nala have? And there's a theater. She's a musician.
Very cool.
No, I think that's optimal for your story, right? You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like optimal.
Why would Nala not invest in building a theater?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense. And
Yeah.
and
I actually really like it because I feel like it's giving the town a little more flavor.
Mhm.
Like, and it's the right people to do it. Like, some are like, hey, let's be ready, and then like here's the culture end of it, which it really rounds the village out. I
think I also kind of like trophy room because of the research aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I think I'd hate to commit to that, but I'm going to have to, aren't I? So I'll take theater, and I'll take. Guys, there's a transportation circle in here.
uh-huh. We have a we have a wizard too.
Oh, that's right. We don't need that. Oh, scriptorium. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to call it. Let's do it. Let's take a theater and a trophy room because I think it would be neat to research legends and stuff.
There you go. Love it. Yeah, I think that works because a lot of the fun so far has been a lot of the traveling. So I don't think we want to quite do away with that yet. All right. So Layla, you're on Greenhouse. Oh, you haven't updated yet. Okay. Cool. Very good. Then we can begin as Layla making her last ones. You definitely have time to do at least one bastion action here.
Will we have 10 days in town?
Yes.
I'm gonna have them craft a +1 rapier.
Perfect.
That'll take 10 days and 200 gold.
Yeah, so you can definitely stay here for a good amount of time.
Oh, it's 200 gold plus the cost of the rapier. Whatever the cost of the rapier is.
Yeah. It was like 15 or something.
25. So
There you go.
225 gold. And that'll be my first order at the smithy. Is for a +1 rapier.
Perfect. All right. Any other actions we're gonna go ahead and do?
Yeah. But sorry.
How many horses do we have? We have one horse.
We had one for each person. I have a horse called Modal.
Did we expand our stable so that it can hold 6 horses rather than 3? If we haven't done that, I'll do that.
Yeah, I don't think it was an expanded one. I think it was just basic.
Then yeah, I'll spend the 2,000 gold and expand our stables as well.
Nice. There we go. Oh, 6 large animals.
I just remembered I have a horse in this game.
Oh my gosh. I didn't forget.
Garrus wants a pony.
I didn't forget because I was using them for plot armor.
This is my horse, plot armor.
Yes.
Just name it Roach.
Nice.
Very cool. So that action is to enlarge. So that's Garrus's. Who else would like to issue some stuff here?
I will issue. Let's see. I want to research something, and I'm looking at my notes to see what we haven't looked in. Well, we haven't really done a whole lot of investigation on Star Metal, have we? Like,
no, that's something that we were trying to get into.
So I'm going to issue a research order on Star Metal, and it will take, I think, 7 days for it to happen.
Yes. Perfect.
Unless y'all want me to send the guy to look for a trinket if anybody's looking for something.
No, that
But
sounds
otherwise, I'm going to research Star Metal.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so all of the facilities are level 1 except for the stable, which is a level 2 now. Correct, Matt?
Sounds right.
Yes.
Okay.
Gosh. Interesting. Yeah, it's so funny. I was going to do a similar thing to what you did in terms of research. Now I am totally going another way. I'm actually looking for other people instead of me. Does anyone feel like they can actually, this is perfect. Okay. I think what I'm going to do then, I'm going to look at how much it costs, but I just think I just need to pick up 2 stones. I think so that Layla doesn't have to constantly have sending and their spell sheet and ready. I know that we
Which I don't.
Right. And I know that we want to communicate as much as we can with the people that we need to here. I am actually going to order the arcane study to create sending stones.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start including all of these slain creatures we have in the trophy room, so we
Perfect.
can decorate it.
Yeah, I like that. I was going to say
Queen's
definitely
head.
off or during. You want to start to think of how your individual thing looks, so we can begin to describe like how your character's version of these things appear. So that's really good.
I would say though it's nice. I finally got access to identify, so you guys can stop looking at me like I'm not a wizard.
Such bullying. I love it.
See the character.
All right. And what was Ezariah researching?
Yeah. So I'm just ordering the arcane study to create magic item.
Oh, so you're not researching. Okay. Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
researching.
I knew you were. I just want to make sure that I'm getting my research bits ready.
Yeah.
Tell
you're
everybody,
good.
I'm like,
I was gonna do
my
very
to-do
similar thing.
list as you all are figuring your stuff out. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
let's look at that.
I'm also putting it in the thing, so
Yeah.
I remember that I researched, ordered it.
Very cool. All right, then we just need Layla's, right?
I'm busy organizing what we have and what everybody else is doing at the moment.
Okay, I can give
So-
you. We can come back to it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a greenhouse. For the greenhouse, you can have it make a greater healing potion.
Sure.
Costs no money and takes 7 days. That's
I like
a pretty
free.
standard one. Yeah, it's a free greater healing
Um,
potion. And then for the workshop, you can make an implement if you want. Ooh, you could make me some boots of striding and springing so that I could walk 5 feet faster.
No, get this man some new legs.
Oh, can I also issue an empower for the theater, or do you only get one thing we can issue?
You
Or
get
is
one
it-
per facility.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna order a production.
I guess Matt. Then, if that's the case, I thought it was one per. But I'll just continue with the library research that I was doing to look for like staff makers and different people that can embolden the magic item making. I
Mhm.
guess.
Sounds good. Let me double check so I make sure I get accurate. Okay, yeah. So on a bastion turn, you issue orders to the special facilities or issue the maintain order to the entire bastion. So you do get your different ones per thing. That's what I thought. Okay.
So I think that's just we got Layla's workshop as the last facility.
Okay. I need to find the thing for the workshop. Find out what the options are.
Yeah, it's a nice little table.
Yep.
It's not a like too much, but it's a
There's
good
some
amount.
powerful stuff on there. You can make a cloak of protection or a cloak of elven kind. You can
Right.
make a broom of flying. Good old bag of holding. Could poke out your own eye and get a hag eye.
Useful.
Okay, and then let me see. So, would you mind looking for me? What specifically? How many pieces of information, or what specifics does it say for the research?
For library,
Right.
you said for a library, it says you get 3 bits of information,
Perfect.
3 facts or something, basically.
Three
It's the
accurate
same
pieces
for
of
trophy.
information.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I need the trophy. Just want to make sure this. All right. So I've got all that, and Ryan, you can tell me when you're ready for yours. How would you like to do that? But
I'll have them make a uncommon item. I'm just not sure which one yet.
Okay.
So
yeah, as a point, I do encourage some to look at Griffin's saddlebag resource, specifically, because that is going to have a lot of the flair for this campaign.
Mhm.
So just my to be a little, because they're a little extra, a little fun. So I like. There's a little more flavor to some of these versus it just hits harder. It's fine.
Subscribe to their Patreon.
You should have access to it through D&D.
Oh yeah, I think the first one's access there.
The second.
Oh, the second one's on there too.
It's only the second, I think.
Mhm.
Actually. But yeah, that's the one that is all loaded there. So
So
cool.
you would be fine in the future with us having our facilities. Could we issue them to create uncommon items from the Griffin saddlebag?
So what I would say is if you have something, that would be a good thing to be thinking about so we can
Role play it.
help you find those pieces to then
Okay,
go
okay.
through. So with some things you collect to bring back and go, yeah, this makes sense. Just again to add more. It's really a flavor thing.
This is why I've been collecting different staff pieces and
Yeah.
trying to find someone to make me a really, really, really cool staff, and not trying to make one in the arcane stuff.
Mhm.
Right. And so that's another thing of like trying to use that and go, hey, I want to start building this, and we can start to go, start to find those pieces on the creatures and sort of make it a little more fun. Just like when I was like, yeah, you could theoretically make this suit of the carapace armor. Cool. So with that, then, before we kind of get to the end of your kind of time here, because the way this will work is that in Nebulheim is going to be this period of mourning the dead after the battle, which is really like there's. I want to say you look around, and all around there's little bits of like their armor or weapons. People visit these shrines they're making for them, and these are going to be removed and put away at the end of the time, at which then everyone celebrates the battle won. But between this time and that time is the just time to recognize people died and sacrificed first before all the revelry. And so it's going to be essentially 10 days because that'll be when all your stuff's kind of completed. And so that's this time. And we can definitely be ready to move on. I just want to see if there was something somebody wanted to definitely do. And remember, in this one specifically, we could always kind of flash back if there's something you later would say, oh, I wanted to, and that's totally fine.
okay. Real quick, Jalen, what are your 2 things for the library and then the arcane study that you're doing?
All right, like what are the orders that I gave them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got some sending stones from the arcane study. So
Okay. So
one
craft
person
magic item.
Yeah, and then I did research for the other one.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Very cool. All right. In that case, sounds like we're ready. So let's start with some research here. Nala. So, everything you need to know as you're starting to get information and from your trophy. Go ahead and name your trophy manager for me, please.
All right.
You can take some time. I will just continue.
Okay.
If you would like to
Keep
spend some
going.
time on it, I'm fine with it. I don't put everybody on the spot.
I think they're an old gnome, if that helps.
Oh no. Okay. So specifically, then let's go. Here we go. All right. What you're able to know is star metal, as was being talked about in Sionis, goes by a much older name here in among the tribes and the clans, specifically Ravenmint, so known as raven-formed metal. This comes from the belief that it's where heavens have kissed the land, carrying echoes of divine will or calamity. And many believe it's actually shattered pieces of divine weaponry. Some of the properties are that it does not rust or dull, and is found often in glacier ice, volcanic rock, deep within the sea, where it's kind of been tempered by its impact.
What did you say after glacial ice? I got the deep within the sea stuff, but you said something else.
A volcanic rock. And depending on where it is from, can have different properties. Some of a bit of more darker and others of light. And they often call the metal that seems to have a darker sense or more of a cursed element to it is known to those smiths who have ever worked for it as Svartermind. And I'll give you one last, actually, just a bonus, is that one of the major properties is its ability to be controlled once forged by the will of the bearer of it, as opposed to simply their hand or arm. All right, then on to Azariah. kind of give you a choice here. You can know. Would you like to have more of a selection of staff makers?
Sure.
Or would you
Yeah.
like
I
more
mean,
information
different.
about one.
Right. Yeah. No. No. I'll take like I wanted a general like which tribes are still known for making, and maybe I could reach out to depending on where we are. Maybe we will reach out to them depending where the road takes us. Should I say?
Perfect. All right. So the first ones you hear about then are known as the root binders of Kveldholt. They are said to have they're said to roam the first forest, which is south of you. Lies between Devokar and Katraya. Mostly known for crafting living staves. Next, or a group known to exist within the peaks of the mountains. Somewhere within, specifically the Sunder Peak, known as the Rune Forgers of Stormhearth. The last one are Wanderers of the Tundra, up in the lands of the Choctaw tribes, known as the Bone Carvers of Frostmere.
Or was that bone guards or bone
Bone Carvers.
carvers? Okay.
And as it stands, their staffs usually are from the bones of animals or monsters.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Then anything else before we would go to the great feast? All right. In that case, after your week-long and more time getting to know many of the people of the tribe and the various functions, specifically Garrus, you get there's several you were able to meet. Most community, young keeper of the hearth who is always in the lodge keeping it, and begin to learn some of the magic here of the great hunt that happened to form Nebulheim and the power that resides within that shields it in magical darkness except for those who are members of the tribe. Other than that, we still have some of the recovering elders. But as you learn, your friends who you met are truly the new elders of the tribe. And this brave place, a people lost that recently came from the mountains themselves of the Utterspire. Everyone's new and finding their way here. And so, as this great celebration, the graves put away, celebrated and mourned, and now much of what has been taken of in the battle has been put to use. New homes have been made with pieces of the hardened resin, along with a few trophies that haven't made into the trophy room. Stinger, claw from the defeated foes. And decorate the whole area as people begin to dance and get into all the festivities.
How's Sprout doing?
Sprout, let's see. Their thing beneath the lodge has done fairly well as they've been planted, and this mushroom folk. Interesting, from this one piece, you can see not yet moving, but has grown what appear to be 3 outcroppings in sashes of itself.
Oh. Offspring. So they still have their underground tunnel system.
Yes, they can move and be out of the sun.
Well, I think definitely going to make sure the theater gets used for this, so that people can have different storytellers come up and talk of the great battle and, do all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so there's great stories as people talk of the Tuscoli, and the tales of finding the corpses of the food that Tuscoli use. It has made great fodder to scare children. They go, pay attention to the elders. Yes, the Tuscoli use you for their children.
Garrus is totally telling stories to kids and trying to terrify them. Putting that bullshit meter to good use. Yeah, let's see if I can fool some kids.
All right. One thing you do see is the Juridic children that you had taken from Sionis are having a bit of a rough time. Everything they knew and even what magic they knew had to do with city. And now being more in this village of nature and raw elemental power, it's a challenge for them to adapt. They've had to do a lot more with their hands. Things they learned to ask the earth and the environment for don't work quite right because the spirits seem to have different attitudes. But they're doing their best. It's just kind of the period of time for them. And they are very thankful for a festival where people cooked for them for once. And they have behaved themselves. They have not stolen anything that you've caught them.
Yet.
So does their magic use stone and that kind of thing, or is it something else?
So it seems to make use of like litter and waste of a city.
Yeah, that's why they were so around that such a dirty area.
It's like waste products, and your village uses everything and doesn't quite believe in waste. So it's very hard for them.
I want to try to see if we can set up like a, like an area for them where we can take some of the waste, not all of it, just some of it, and kind of stockpile it, and give the kids their magical abilities so that they can contribute through magic ways. And see if I can convince anyone to allow that.
Yeah. This is a major cultural shift. So what I'll do is I think this is a great time to do a nice skill challenge for everybody. How they might want to participate, because this is the elders, you convincing the tribe of changing like a major cultural piece. So it's definitely doable, but it's like the elders to be a part of that. What does each person do to contribute to this?
Like, so how do you present this to us?
Yeah, now I can lead it.
I mean, I kind of bring up the fact that the kids are, you know, they want to contribute, but they're not used to this type of contribution, and they don't feel like they're adding as much to the village. And I worry that if they're not feeling like they're a part of the village, that, you know, this could lead to big problems in the future. And they are talented at magic, and they could use that magic to help benefit the whole village. So if we could just get an area set aside for them where we allow like a small bit of waste from some of the things, like when we have a festivity like this, maybe there can be like a contribution pile for the children, and we can kind of add it to that area where they can use it as their resources to, you know, use magic. But it obviously is a huge cultural shift for the whole village, but we do have to adapt. That's what we've learned. We have to adapt to changing circumstances, and our village is growing and our diversity is growing. So
what if they use scrap and different things in a way that is still flows with the environment around us? Like, for instance, if they use scrap of bones and different leather material and mismatched stones and things we don't really use to make sculptures or different totems of sort, that is still waste in a way, but has some meaning for both them and the tribe.
does our tribe get rid of anything or do we, like, even with like bones and stuff and leather and
It's usually made and right. It's very much a culture of use everything.
okay.
And so that is again, if they wanted to have some people going to use some more of the scraps, that wouldn't be impossible. Like I said, it's more just what are you doing to help convince the thing.
Right.
So
I mean, I would be using my persuasion because I can.
right. So you're talking to people about it. Very good.
Garrus is going to be trying to convince everybody that Garrus is going to be bullshitting and schmoozing with people and acting like he knows what he's talking about, but really just lying through his teeth whenever it needs to.
A different story for every person.
Exactly.
Whatever it takes to get this done.
Exactly.
He's
He's reading the people and speaking accordingly, just what he thinks he should say in that situation. Yeah.
very cool. So to start, let's do a persuasion from Layla, deception from Garrus.
Minala.
Yes, Nala, thank you. Sorry.
I'm gonna use my focus mastery.
Ooh.
17.
25.
Ooh.
Very nice. Then Layla and Azariah.
I'm thinking how I'm wording this, or like how I'm gonna, like, you know, I definitely want it in a way that they can have their own, like, because I always think about these guys that you'll see that use like scrap metal and they'll, you know, they turn it into these like super cool sculptures, and it's still junk. Like, it's junk, but it's pretty junk. This is pretty ass junk.
Pretty junk.
Right. So I'm trying to, like, you know, how can I encourage them, or you know, to encourage them to go that way, but also that the people that this is beneficial for us and is a way to inspire not only those that are young, but those that are old as well, to see things in a different light.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, there's a few ways you can probably approach that. Could definitely see like just raw intelligence, possibly a history. Does a history check sound good for you?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I was not muted. 27.
Perfect. And then Layla.
I got nothing at the moment, actually. I'm still organizing the Bastion stuff, honestly.
Clerical work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool. Could get you an
Anybody,
idea.
any ideas from
Yeah,
the
Layla,
other
you
players
could-
or something Layla could do?
I think maybe Layla could look into the waste type products, maybe as sort of a survival-ish type of ability to kind of see what types of things could be spared realistically, maybe.
The other idea I just thought of, you take it or leave it, but could be more of an idea of scavenging from the thin places and using more like the waste that comes through there as a potential way
Okay,
to ease
sure.
that a little bit, because it's not like the people's waste. To add and just take a different direction. It's up to you. I just give it
And maybe there's like different like rituals that we can exchange, right? Like, you know, we have the village has like sacred rites when we like do a big like hunt, right? And they have these like sacred rites and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I
For
guess-
the animal. So what if like, you know, like after we cook or things like this, then you know they have like a filth blessing, right? Like they coat themselves in ash and they do like a ceremony, you know, and like what they maybe
you know,
they see as waste.
Layla,
What?
you could just say the gods demand it and intimidate everyone.
No, that did give me an idea though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to teach merge their beliefs and also teach them some like about the different constellations and some of our other traditions and stuff here, and try to merge the village traditions with some of the stuff that I kind of do as a cleric along with theirs. I'm going to try to merge them so that they can maybe diversify away along with their way of doing things and merge it with, you know, our ways of doing things.
Yeah. Why don't you do a wisdom-based religion for me?
All right, so I'm proficient, so I'm gonna just roll my insight because that is wisdom and proficient, and that is a shit ton. That is 27.
Okay. So throughout the party, and it being a good time because it is like cleanup and it is a lot of more spirit of excess. And it's a good time to be having this conversation because people already are drinking too much, eating too much, throwing axes harder than they should to make more splinters than is necessary. So you have your section of town called the Pile. Where these things are, and as people begin to throw their broken cups and other things, and you start to help even these children understand a little more of how this works, they begin to use even this pure, like a little less waste for trash, and it seems you start to see it begin to reform. And they seem to be able to move and manipulate it, and they get really excited because they haven't been able to do that with the branches and the rocks and things.
Yeah, I'm totally writing a campaign ad jingle for the village, saving waste and giving it to the children.
The children deserve your scraps. I love it. Very cool. Anything else at the celebration here? Or major things. We know we have the theater going. We have just the smoozing.
Still 4 days before the production of the. I've hired people to put together a musical on the founding of our village for them. So while we're
Perfect.
away, they'll get to watch that.
Oh, very cool. How many days does this take?
14.
14. Okay. For the person, we can be at the end of 14. Whatever the end of like our stuff was the idea here.
Okay, yeah. So that plays for the village
Perfect.
as a historical record as well as, morale.
Nice. Things of the Death Spirit, the Anscoti, and such things.
The actor playing Azariah is very handsome.
It's a little girl playing Garrus.
It's Rosie. It's Rosie.
So funny.
Well, isn't it the founding? You're not there yet.
Yeah. I'm not there.
There's a character of Garrus, like, because their belief, like, they were there, they were coming. It's like what Garrus was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goes to these scenes, Garrus.
Like the narrator.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Included. Hegel has made a kind of like almost wood playground through some of the trees. They will lift up large logs so the younger ones and even the teens get to practice a bit, as there's more of like a high ropes course almost for the 15s.
Nice.
Community stuff. Which the 15s were sort of a kind of more of maturity when they began to learn their trades with some of the lore that they all kind of came with.
So, team, what do you think our next adventure should be? We have a few things on our agenda.
Well, there's the star medal to the south.
That definitely intrigues me, especially based on what I've recently learned about it.
Yeah. It is to the west, just for a note.
Okay. That's right. It's over there by the Esme Tower, as I call it.
No, the Esme Tower
No?
is far farther north.
Oh.
This is in the Bay of the Dead King.
Oh.
That doesn't sound ominous or anything.
I think it sounds exciting.
Yeah, let's go find some dead kings.
I mean, if we're looking for really getting some interesting materials, and also, we talked to the person in Sionis about sharing some of this information as well, and there could be a lot of good materials there that we could use to really make ourselves ready for the next big fight. But it's likely that bay has a lot of creatures in it, the likes of which we have probably never even seen.
I don't know how easy it is getting on a boat in Siotis to travel there, but it took me days to get on a boat that would take me to the mainland.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, because you are, just to be clear, Azariah, you're from the Mogvar Isles up here.
Yeah, the most western one that you see.
Over here, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what we're talking about over here is...
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just talking about like finding
You're
passage.
perfect. I just want to make sure we all know what we're talking about. No
Oh
worries.
yeah, for sure.
We would definitely I think we'd even have to go through Sionis just to get to that first island, and we'd be looking at
Yeah, I mean,
quite
it's
a
the first
few weeks.
port city, right? So we'd have to find
Mhm.
someone that's willing to take us to, and then stick around, right? Because odds are we're not finding a ride off of. Depending on where the star medal is, I guess.
What about our friend, the missionary? Maybe he could help hook us up.
It's possible. We did save him and find out who killed his daughter.
And I think I have a scenting stone from him. That we
Oh,
could
nice.
use. We could check to be sure. But that is an option.
If you did want a little different flavor, you might be able to talk to the River King to see if he could help you travel, and you could work out traveling along the river. But That's up to you.
Yeah.
It just would give you a little different flavor if you wanted it.
Yeah,
Right,
would
right,
Just
be
given
a really good
options.
idea. I mean, I like the idea of going after the star medal, but I don't want it to, like, if somebody else has something they really, really want to get taken care
So
of.
now I was asking, what else is on the table for everybody?
So basically, the only thing is finding, like, we don't have a ton of like evidence where my father could be, but I guess while we're here, oh shit, actually, I don't even have access to. Do you have access to scrying, Layla?
Yes.
I would ask you to use the club given to Higo to scry and see where my father is.
I feel like that's definitely a cleric spell.
It's 5th level, I believe.
Trying. Yes, sir, I do.
I believe it has material component cost.
Yes, unfortunately, I do not have a crystal ball, a silver mirror,
crystal ball.
or a font filled with holy water that costs 1,000 gold pieces.
Well,
I'll give you 1,000 gold to make some holy water. Get on it, girl.
we could also check. I mean, I don't want to go back to Sionis, but if there's, I mean, if we need to get a crystal ball, we could try another town nearby.
I mean, yeah, we're pretty much, it's either Sionis or the one just north of us, which, I mean, I don't know. It's a small village. I'm not sure if they'll have that.
Yeah, that's true. Probably not.
I mean,
but yeah, I'm totally fine with us doing some investigative work on Ezekiel, especially since we have her new name here. I've got to learn her new name. Hold on.
And it seems like too, like he's on some type of something sent him here, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has to do with some of the irregular beasts out here and different things like that, because he is a hunter at the end of the day, and then why he's also so far from where I last seen my brother from eating the void dragon's brain.
Did Hegel have any idea about where he might have headed?
They
No.
asked her, she had none.
Okay.
He kind of, her story was he kind of gave her this thing and then vanished the next day.
Right.
Like he kind of Irish goodbye her a little bit.
What do you know about your father that would help us track him?
Well, I think that his love and his passion for hunting monsters would definitely be something that he would seek. He always thought that he had to cultivate strong men and be strong himself. And the way that he knew how to do that was to hunt beasts and monsters that maybe others would be afraid to.
So it's likely he would have traveled with a group then.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. I don't think he was with the group.
And Layla, I know that you also had something you wanted us to look at too, correct?
No, my thing is out of character. My thing is the thinning that's going on over there, and I don't want to be near it because I think that me being near it brings him closer.
Could you remind me what the thinning is?
It's a spare. It's a very thin part between our plane and the what is it?
Yeah, it's what you took when you took over Nebulheim. You said you'd protect this as the thin place.
Okay,
Where things crossed over. So the thin place is what we said at first, and we're just some people call it the thinning or whatever from that creature. And when you defeated Ant Skorget.
Okay. All right. And Garrus, what about you? Was there anything on our?
I think this star medal sounds fascinating.
You and I have a like mind, Garrus.
I other than that, I'm new to the area. I don't know anything about this thinning. This is the first that I've heard about this. Is it like the planes are closer together there and stuff can get through?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Yes, and there is a being there hunting me that is sending his beings through and is trying to come through himself.
It is. I think in the town, what Garrus would learn is that's why this place is called Nebulheim.
Okay.
Is because of the nebula stars that it seems to be close by because of the thinning plains. And they
That's
guard
right.
against it.
I could send a message to the missionary, Herbert, to see if if you want him to look into possible clues as to the whereabouts of Ezekiel. He might have resources.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can ask him. But yeah, then I think that would be one step, and then if we have to head to Sionis to get to the to the Star Metal anyways, I guess we can just get the crystal ball on the way and do what we can to
All right.
find them, I guess.
All right. So I definitely want to send a message to Herbert to ask him or just to ask him to keep if he has any information about a giant, a Goliath named or is he a giant?
Yeah, he's a giant kin that is a pretty big guy. I'll give him 8 feet. Tattoo on his back, on his shoulders. I'll describe his hair, which he doesn't have any, but he the lack thereof. But he does have a beard. Things like that. So
Okay. So if possible, I want to try to send as much of that information as I can to Herbert, just to see if he can get back to us if he hears or learns of anything about his whereabouts.
Absolutely. His information, he will agree to begin looking into it. Didn't ring a bell initially, but he will begin keeping zeroed, and we'll see what he can do.
All right, so I guess we sleep here the night. Get everyone. What? Oh wait, no, it's already been 14 days. We don't have to rest.
Right.
But,
Well,
but
you're at a party. You're probably going to rest the night, but this
Yes.
is where you're deciding what to do next. Yeah, it's just all the conversations. So I would say, just in case you're interested, you would know down here with the ruins of Enkelbat, it was that city was like a city of seers and those types of things. If you were trying to find a crystal ball or something,
yeah.
So here's the other thing. Scrying is a little more on the arcane side, and you do know like Sionis being Vesselheinian, they're not as cool about the arcane stuff. That is harder things to potentially find.
right.
But it would be more like that font of holy water type of end of things. But again,
I wouldn't mind seeing somewhere new, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, and then
Sionis
that
much.
if we go down there too, maybe we can also find the root binders of Vault, which is south. So
okay,
Sounds good to me.
because I like to chart things so that we have an idea, make sure that we're good with flow. It sounds like what is on the table is traveling south to the ruins of Enkelbat, which is, once you get there, there's going to be exploration, probably dungeony, right? You can expect that type of thing from ruins. And then, of course, there's things on the ways here, but then you're going to come down here to the first forest,
right.
which is what the root binders are. And then it sounds like from there you'd want to figure out how you can get back up to the Bay of the Dead King for your Star Matter expedition over here.
Right.
Within the background, of course, the Ezekiel stuff going on too.
With what you can find, yeah, because you're going to get the crystal ball as part of this probably, or something of the like, and whatnot as you get more clues there. So the big thing, player-wise, above table, are we good with that flow? Like, we want to
Yeah.
stick around and play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I'm good with it.
Cool.
Ryan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan's doing the layout for everyone's bastion. He's just writing it.
He's
Drawing
got
it out.
AutoCAD.
Doesn't
making
happen a
it.
lot, but it has happened occasionally where like there will be a discussion like this, and someone goes, "Well, I heard that, and I don't know," and you're like, "Dude, we were talking about it. Please say any objections."
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
please, we want to talk about this now so we can agree.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with whatever, honestly.
Yeah, sounds good, everybody.
Well, except for going near the thinning. You want to stay
Yeah,
away from
I'm
that.
not a huge. She's not a huge fan of doing that. In fact, you'll notice that she tries to be as far away from it as possible throughout, just like everywhere. Like where she sleeps at night, total opposite side of the village, away from it. Like she only gets as close as absolutely necessary, and then she goes away. She's being paranoid.
Very cool. In that case, so essentially, will you be following the road at first? That's
Think
outlined
so.
here.
Yeah,
The expedition.
we can't get too much in the waterways, right? Unless we ask permission.
Right.
I mean, we
Oh,
could
yeah.
try to ask permission, send what we need to down the river if you guys want to use the river and then get on the road.
Lionel. His rippling majesty.
Yes, if you wanted to have some connection to the Rippling Mash.
Well, we also do have horses.
It's true. Get on your horses and go that way.
We could take our horsies and put them to good use.
My
I'm
only
not
worry
going through
with
that. I'm not going through that red bubble. I'm not causing problems.
My
Yes,
worry
it-
with the horses is just I know we're going to be. I mean, I feel like we know that we're going to be going into some really.
So the river's the safest.
Well, the thing with the horses, though, is you would know you're going through enough civilizations where at some point you can leave the horses,
Okay.
right?
works.
Sell the horses.
So if we're going like here, whether you do it here, you do it outside the ruins, or you leave it here before you start to go into, there's things you have some options.
Right? Yeah, you can stable them
Okay.
up, come back, or or
Sell
if you
'em.
really want to.
Not gonna just be like leave them for something to eat. So just to kind of give that cool. Then from my bit, we'll probably fast move 1 to 2 weeks from this point once we're ready, and I'll probably kind of be down here just so we're not like revisiting some stuff, so it's a little fresh for everybody. So the question then is there anything, any loose ends people wanted to tie up here?
I think it was good.
I did have
Yeah.
one question, and that was: is Jamin still with us?
Yes.
Okay. Because I do just want to make sure they're adjusting to life in the village, not like a major role play thing, just kind of checking
In on them. Absolutely. In fact, John's kind of taken himself to. He's been a little bit of a urban planner. Has been most of his roles to help them understand like where our best places to place these permanent abodes are.
Cool.
To better, because everyone was so used to Scodfell, where the abundant magic and resources just made a lot of things not matter. And he's been more like, this is the better place. So he's kind of found a little bit of a rhythm for now in the expanding.
Sounds good.
Cool. In that case, so what I'll need to do here is I'm going to call it 10-minute because I need to get my brain around your choice here. And then we'll go ahead and play. Does that sound good for
Okay.
everybody?
Sure.
Word.
right. We got back. So. Perfect. Upon your horses, you have ridden for 2 weeks thus far from Nebulheim. Taking some leave and keeping your approximate distance from Sionis as you've done everything you want there. You rode south, crossing the ridge of the rippling Kings River through the bridge, and headed further south down to what amounts to as trampled down grassland. The road is dirt, and weeds and brambles come here or there. It's not paved or maintained. Only the marching of the clans to war or to hunting has kept this way even remotely clear. And thus, even with your horses, they ride the best they can, moving through, and requires stops due to the unfamiliar land. Occasionally causing you to be held up as you notice great fissures in the area, akin to what some of you encountered when you first came here, of enormous worms that lay beneath the surface. Thus a slower and more deliberate pace has been warranted. Say, is there any flavor anyone wishes to add to the travel thus far?
My pony's name is Copper.
Nice. Yeah. Any decorations on the horsies? We gotta know.
Nope, it's a little pony, and its name is Copper, and its coat is copper colored. So it's kind of orangish and dark brown orange.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think mine had pink hair and white fur. I can't remember, but that sounds about right.
Well, I named it Model because it is patterned with irregular marks and spots of brown and white.
I named mine Milkshake.
Cool. What about Layla's? Are you still bookkeeping, Layla?
Oh no,
Layla.
Sorry, my headset cut off there for a
Oh
minute.
no.
Mine will be Nebula, and it's primarily just midnight black with a few specks of color here and there.
Nice.
So she kind of, especially when the light hits it just right, she looks like the night sky.
Very nice. This is Nebula. At night, as you were traveling, Layla, as you look down upon Nebula, though she tends to look more like the night sky, it seems this night the spots and constellations upon her have shifted. You remember them being different. It's as if the stars are in the wrong places on her back. Say, Garrus, you can't shake the feeling that this path that you are coming down is familiar, as if walked before. And when you do observe, notice the patterns of the birds have been erratic and almost nonsensical, circling above you at times and then darting far to the mountains where there would be no food, only to later say you swear the same birds coming back from a different direction.
I'm imagining something like a David Lynch movie.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Very much the vibe.
these vibes going. Yeah, little the birds are being weird, guys. Something's. I can't really explain it. They're kind of moving like they shouldn't, going in one direction and then coming back from another. I don't know if there's some magic going on or there's something wrong with the birds or what's going on, but there's something's happening.
Perhaps even magic in the earth. Some type of magnetic pull. Definitely something to keep an eye open for. Do you see anything? Layla, you have the ability to see magic, right?
If given some time, I can do it, yes.
Perhaps we could take a brief break and take a look around.
Just real quick, I'm going to cast a cantrip called Bright Sparks. Essentially, it illuminates everywhere, illuminates the region around me to a distance of 60 feet. And I'd have perception checks on advantage on perception checks on creatures hidden in shadows. I'm just going, just for one single round is how long it lasts. So
Okay.
I'm just going to do it real quick. And basically, you see Layla kind of wave her arms and some constellations kind of spurt out and spread out temporarily. And I just want to take a real good look at the area around me.
Can Garrus also take a look as Layla's lighting everything up? He's going to take advantage of the brighter light and see if he can see anything too.
Yeah, give me the perceptions from both of you, please.
27.
Dirty 20.
All right. So you look around, and in this moment of the light, moving out and across, you see faded figures, many, that seem to be moving north from back kind of along the road where you're traveling. They're almost like shadows, remnants. And you hear whispers that you can't make out. And then the light fades. And the whispers don't vanish, but grow quieter.
In kind of everybody's heads, real quick, I'm going to say, on your guards. Using my telepathy.
I'll take out my axe.
Take out my rapier.
Okay, I guess I put away my book. Shit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get off the horse.
All right, so you get off the horse here. So you all begin to just sounds like you're like standing still and kind of taking in what's going on.
On high alert. Yep.
Very good.
Mhm.
In that case, taking that time, you still, as you get off the horses, Garrus, in your high alert, you kind of hit the ground, and then you kind of look to calm your horse, and it is 15 feet away from you, eating the grass.
As soon as I dismount, it's 15 feet away.
Yeah.
Have my other companions moved as well?
Renault seems to be in the right spot.
Even as we two get off of our horses.
Indeed.
Oh, I stayed on my horse.
Okay, I'm getting off my horse, which I'm already a little wary of. Is it 15 feet away from me?
No. Just
So it's
where-
right next to me.
Just
Okay.
my horse teleported. Can I poke around a little bit and like using the blade of my rapier? Can I poke and prod at the location where the horse should have been? Kind of like because I dismount and I would expect the horse to be behind me, but the horse is now 15 feet away. So I'm turned around where I think the horse should be, and I'm going to start like prodding the ground a little bit and cautiously reaching out and like touching the area, the zone there.
Yeah. Of where it should be. And you're
Yeah.
kind of poking. Everything seems okay. And as the rest of you watch this and kind of hear Garrus's murmurings, it's odd. You know what you saw, but you also feel like you remember him taking his horse over there to feed. As if both things are true when they can't be.
It's some type of planar convergence.
Or time skip.
Multiple timelines. Maybe the shadows are us.
Okay. This is weird. Can I go over to my horse?
You walk over to your horse and you grab the reins. And you find yourself and the horse back on the path.
Garrus, when did you learn to teleport?
I'd like to
Is that
report.
what I just did?
So, for the rest of you, you saw them walk over, and for you all, it's more like the road is there, and it's not where he walked from. Like it curved, but you don't watch it curve. It just, oh no, the road was always there. But you know he walked off of it into it.
This area is glitching real bad, guys. Azariah, can you use your brains to figure out what's going on?
Don't think I have enough time for that, but I can maybe do some experiments, and I'll start like try. Well, first I'll start doing things to see how like magic works here. So I'll do something simple, and I will just use my like prestidigitation cartomancer stuff to kind of make some lights and sounds and different like puffs of wind to like see how it acts in this space.
Okay. You make the sounds, and they seem somewhat muted. Not quite having the same oomph they should.
It seems like magic might be dampened here somehow, as if it's going through some filter.
What happens if I try to predict the weather for the next 24 hours here?
Indeed. You're using your prediction magic, and Azariah is trying to control the wind. And that is when you understand, Nala, that there should be no wind today. And yet, the wind is blowing with 3 directions at once around you. As you watch as Azariah begins to attempt to move, and there is a roar that comes from the wind. The 3 directions of wind that seems offended at your interference. As do this. You feel your skin that is being blown on by the wind get loose as if it's beginning to rot. And with that, I will ask for a roll of initiative.
Ew.
Here we go.
Our department is back, but she has a vicious migraine, and we have 15 minutes, or my decisions to kind of let her chill.
You're all good.
We will.
No, I think Nala was saying that the whispers were our department, maybe. The whispers in the background that I'm
Oh,
hearing.
that's just a sound effect.
Yeah, I knew it. I wasn't going crazy. I knew
I don't know. Maybe they were building something. I don't know.
It was background. It was ambiance for your whispers, is what I was doing.
I was about to get on my live well and message my doctor in a second.
Very nice. Yeah, make sure people aren't dying here. And we have 3 inspirations courtesy of Carrie H. Author here.
Thanks, Carrie.
So, Layla, I do need yours to then propagate for me.
Oh, I didn't click it.
I'll take an inspo.
There you go.
Yes, perfect. All right. So with that, Azariah, you were the first offender. So
it's never happened before.
Yeah. Well, I didn't roll very good this time. I'm normally the first one.
Okay, so the winds pick up around you moving ever more, and you feel your skin being ripped and bruised. Let's see here. This is a 15 to hit,
That misses. I pulled up
and
my
then
boot
an
shield.
18.
I'll let it hit.
Okay. That is 10 bludgeoning and 9 necrotic. Your skin bruises, rots, and begins to fall off of your as if rapidly aged. Azariah.
I have sunspots now, guys. So I'm feeling assaulted by this wind that doesn't seem to have any form to me. And I will try to do what I can, though. I am going to first see what happens if I simply try to move out of the way of like where the winds are using my horse. So I'll like trot away 50 feet.
Okay. It's going to op attack, actually.
Okay.
Mechanically. For 21.
Sure, I'll let it hit.
You got it. So the winds pick up for 10 bludgeoning and 14 necrotic.
Ooh. All right. So I ride away there and not sensing like any form in this being. I am just going to I'm going to see how it takes some force damage. So I'm going to throw out some 3 crimson blast at it and see how it reacts and takes it.
You got it. These are going to be disadvantaged because this is considered an invisible entity.
Okay, cool. Start throwing some leaves in it and shit. All right. Okay. First one was a 14.
That'll miss.
Second one's a natural 1.
All right. Can't quite find. You're going all around.
And then the last one, I lost a natural 20 to a 25.
Okay. Finally, you find some type of form here. Something that can seem to be impacted by your magic. As it explodes, you can roll your damage.
Guys, this thing is really hard to hit, and 4 force damage.
Very good. So, you see it explode as the wind continues. Anything else?
Yes, and then as a bonus action, what I'm going to do is I'll as the crimson ichor falls from my staff and onto my arm, coiling around and elongating itself down my arm, forming into a whip. I will cast Crimson Lash on myself.
Nice.
And that, and I moved away, so, and I used my action. Oh, well, the first time I cast it, I could technically do it, but I moved away, so I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to stay there with the lash.
Very good. Garrus.
Okay. Well, geez, I can't see any creatures within 60 feet of me, so I'm very limited at what I can do.
Yeah, you saw the explosion.
I saw the explosion. Yeah. Can I, with my bonus action, I'm going to. Actually, no, I'm not. I am going to run over to stand next to Nala.
Okay, I like that. Getting right next to Nala, blades out, I'm assuming. Anything else?
If anything comes within 5 feet of me, or if anything attacks me or Nala, I'm going to attack it with my rapier.
Sounds good. I love it. Layla.
All right. First, I'm going to cast a spell called Fireflies, except I'm going to flavor it like, little stars and constellations floating in the air instead of little fireflies floating in the area. 15-foot radius sphere in the general direction of where they were attacking.
Okay.
Uh,
Right where
What-
Azariah was, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, summon a large volume of fireflies to illuminate a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration of 1 hour. A few of the fireflies will settle on hidden or invisible creatures, making them somewhat easier to find. Attack rolls against
Ooh.
invisible creatures in the area are no longer made with disadvantage.
Ooh.
Though attack rolls made by invisible creatures are still made with advantage, for only their general position is clearer by firefly light, not their specific movements.
Okay.
All hide actions taken in the area are made with disadvantage.
Okay, perfect. So the visual here, and I want to be on the same page, is that this light is in an area where all of you are not? Or do you feel like Azariah is near enough to you where you are all in this area?
I guess we're not
pretty
really
close together,
hidden.
aren't we?
Yeah. So like I said, I am aiming at wherever, because
Okay.
I did
No,
notice.
so in that case, the fireflies are all around you. Azariah has moved where they are not in the fireflies. And as they land and move, you see them batted around by wind. And that visual is what represents. Oh, sorry, not fire. There's constellations. The constellations give this weird refracted light based on the movement, and so you're able to sort of understand how it's moving and where it could be solid.
Thank you, Layla. That's gonna be a lifesaver.
All right. Anything else, Layla?
So that was my action, and it was a leveled spell, and so I don't really have a lot of else I can do. So yeah, I'm there.
You got it.
I got nothing else I can do at the moment.
All right. That happens. It seems as though the wind expands almost as it begins to encompass Garrus and Nala. As you can see, the constellations refracting different, as if it's almost growing. So which would allow that held for Garrus.
Okay, and now it's no longer at disadvantage.
Correct, because this is different.
What did that roll? 17?
Yep. That hits.
That hits. And would I get sneak attack damage?
Yeah, you're right next to Nala. And it's
All right.
right there with you.
That's the idea. Piddly sneak attack, only 27.
27 total. Very good. You stab out into the strange form, and you can see it kind of recoil and lessen, almost fade away as if it can't be here a part of it can't be here anymore, though the rest of its form is. Anything else?
No.
Oh, can you tell us, Garrus, what your new magical rapier looks like?
Ooh, please. I hope you can.
It has a black leather handle wrapped to a pommel that is silvered on the pommel, and the basket is silvered, but the blade is just it twinkles a little bit. It's got some runes on it, and it's enchanted, so it's a magical blade.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. In that case,
That was the
Nala.
held action.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it started its turn, or this part of it. Nala, the wind is beating against you for a 27 to hit.
Yep.
And another 27. Okay, get a con save going for me.
It's 21.
Perfect. You're going to take 11 bludgeoning, 15 necrotic, and then 16 bludgeoning and 10 necrotic. There's wrinkles and decayed skin that begin to form. And then Nala.
Eyebrows furrowed, eyes redden, muscles expanding, growing to the immense large size. I grab hold of my axe and I use everything to take a nice swing at this glittering prize.
Let's go.
For a 21 to hit,
Yes.
will be 25 slashing and 2 thunder.
Oh, yeah. Takes all of that.
I will then take my axe and swing it again. For a 19,
Yes.
that's 27 slashing and 2 thunder.
Perfect. You feel the breeze getting weaker as you're just slashing around you viciously. Anything else?
I'm still next to it, right?
You're in it.
Oh, I'm in it. Okay, so I'm good. I'm there.
Good. Yeah, the visual is as if it's blowing all around you on every side. That's how you feel. And with that, because of the fireflies, you see now this wind growing outside of the sphere, and what you assume to be approaching Azariah, where they had gone, and which would give everyone but Garrus, because they've used their reaction. Well, not everyone. So Layla and Nala, you may have op attacks if you so desire.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Warcaster.
Ooh, that's
Nice.
a 19, which is a crit.
So that means what does Warcaster do again? I know it means I can do a spell, but I don't remember exactly.
It means you can cast a spell as your opportunity attack.
Yeah. Then let's. It has to be a action, and it has to be at one person, which is not a lot of my spells actually.
51 slashing, 7 thunder.
You know what? I'll just have them do a. It being wind, I don't think it's going to be very wise, so I'm going to have it make a wisdom save, and it has been hit. So
Indeed. That is 9.
that is a fail, so that is 3d12 of damage for, I don't know, what does it say? 19.
19 necrotic.
Yes.
Okay, as it goes out, you feel as though it has nothing to rot.
That is fair. Okay, then.
Kind of wind. So that means that this does get over to Azariah. For 23 to hit. And a 19, Azariah. I can't hear you if you're doing anything. 'Cause you're muted. Jalen, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yep.
Okay. Those are 23 and 19 to hit.
So, that's not. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get hit by one of them, so I'll just take both.
All right. Give me a con save, please.
Oh. I get. Well, I get advantage to build this, really. All right. 19 plus 4. Okay. So, yeah. 23.
Okay. You're good to go. You take 9 bludgeoning, then 14 necrotic, and then 14 bludgeoning, and 10 necrotic. So we see a bloodied and withered version of Azariah now. as they take more and more of who they are away. As we come up to the top of the initiative, end of the session, and we'll come back to this next week. I would say everyone, let's just do this. Everyone mark an initiative from Carrie, so that you not initiative.
Inspo.
Thank you. So we'll use what Carrie gave you next week, so we don't waste those points.
Cool.
So there was 3.
I grabbed
As-
one for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all can have them since I have reckless, so
Okay.
I'll take them.
Cool. Perfect. So we mark that inspo. And if everyone watching, thank you so much, and we will see you next week.